Hi, I'm Denise Strowers, and this is News 6, News for 6th graders. Today, Mrs. Miller's class of St. Rose in Lima, Ohio, bring you news about their school and community. St. Rose Church is 100 years old. It was built in 1856. In 1856, Father Carouche was placed in complete charge of the congregation and was given the duty of organizing a parish here. Under this guide, a parish was developed. In that year of 1856, he began raising funds for the construction of the first church, which was to be named after St. Rose of Lima, Peru. The church was completed in 1858, and from that time on to this, there has always been a St. Rose Church in Lima. In 1952, an addition was built onto the convent, enlarging it to meet the needs of the sisters. On December 31st, 1953, the cornerstone for the new grade school building was laid and blessed. On April 11th, 1954, the new grade school was dedicated by Bishop George J. Rearing. It included 12 classrooms, a cafeteria, and offices. In 1956, the church was completely reduced and refurnished with new pews, flooring, lights, statues, and stations. St. Rose is known as the Mother Church of Lima. Tom?
Do you ride to school on a school bus? Chances are you're riding on a bus made by Superior Coach, a division of Scheller Globe. Superior is the largest producer of buses in the world. Besides making buses, Superior makes ambulances, funeral homes, and the Superior Motor Home. On an average working day, Superior turns out 10 or 12 buses. All their vehicles meet the new safety standards. The motor and chassis are made by one of these companies, Ford, GMC, Dodge, or Chevy, which are then sent to Superior. First the underbody is made, then the sides are mounted on the underbody and the roof is added. Next it is insulated and the inside panels are added. Then come pre-mantled finishing, where it is washed in acid to remove grease and sealer, and primed, painted, and baked. Next, windows, seats, heaters, wiring are added, then undercoated and attached to the chassis. Finally, finishing touches are added. On 1/3 of our nation's children ride to school in buses built by Superior. Maybe you're one of that third. A favorite place for everyone to visit is the Allen County Museum. This museum contains many excellent exhibits which make it outstanding. For example, on the lower level there is a replica of an old-fashioned general store with many of the products in that time period. On the same floor there is a large antique wooden loom. On the top floor there are exhibits of old cars and fire engines which have been perfectly preserved, and an old covered wagon representing the days of the pioneers. Other exhibits include book collections, manuscripts, photographs, a barber shop, a dentist's office, and many more. Perhaps your class would like to plan a field trip to see this fine museum. Now to you, Paula.
What is this workshop way? The workshop way is very good for children because it teaches them to proceed on their own. The workshop is used in grades 1 through 4. This workshop has been used at St. Rose for the past 3 years. In the morning, the workshop lessons are explained to the children. They can do the lessons on their own. When they are finished with one lesson, they go on to another. Answers for the lessons are written, then checked by other students. Sometimes cards in the lessons have the answers. Some of the lessons on the workshop board have a red circle around them. The red circle means that the pupil must go to the teacher and ask her what to do. Many of these lessons are fun. Some of the lessons in the workshops are SRAs, individual film strips and tapes, thinkers, and puzzles. SRAs are individual stories with questions to answer. The film strips and tapes are used to teach the children to listen and think. The thinkers are boxes that contain lessons that have already been presented to the class, which allows the students to go back and do a self-check. Since our school has joined the educational TV viewing audience, it became necessary to have more TV sets in the school. Sister Mary Mark, our principal, decided to have a candy drive to raise money to buy the televisions. We sold 2 kinds of candy, and they both were priced at $1 per box. Prizes were awarded to the top individual sellers of the school. First through fourth place winners received $10, $5, $2, and $1 prizes. Second graders beat the first and third graders with their quota of 155%. The fourth, fifth, and sixth graders challenged each other, and the sixth graders won with 90% of their quota. The seventh and eighth graders showed a lot of spirit and kept the drive competitive. The top individual sellers from first to fourth were Lisa Carroll, grade 6. She sold 125 boxes of candy. Cindy Thompson, grade 7. Maggie Kinzer, grade 7. And there were several fourth place winners represented here by Forrest Askins. They were Leslie Chamberlain, Mary Roller, and Tracy New, as well as Forrest himself. The entire school sold a total of 4,800 boxes. Dave?
Stories about unidentified flying objects have circulated for years. Recently, there have been sightings by people in the Lima area and around Findlay. Many cases were false alarms. They were found to be weather balloons or airplanes with flashing lights. St. Rose is moving its whole library into another room. The reason for this is because the old library is too small. There wasn't enough room to sit down and study because the tables were used to put some more books on. The state law says there should be enough space to seat an entire class comfortably, and we didn't have that space. Our old library was so small that only 10 students could go in at a time. But the new library will be big enough to allow a complete class to go in. The Home and School Association contributed money for the new shelves that are being placed in the new library. The shelves are approximately 8 feet long and will hold almost 3 times as many books as the old ones. Altogether, there are about 5,000 books. Special arrangements have been made for our first graders. Their books will be placed on the shelves near the floor so they can easily reach them. The new library will also house all of the audio-visual equipment for the school. Film strips, records, earphones, and overhead projector transparencies will be cataloged so they're easily available to teachers. All the classes at St. Rose are eagerly looking forward to the grand opening of our new facility. Back to you, Denise.
I'm Denise for Tom, Paula, Dave, and Mrs. Miller's grade 6 of St. Rose. This has been News 6. News for 6th graders.